FarmRPG, Bellogan here. Today we're going to take a look at the Sawmill and recent updates where the costs have increased. And the question is it still worth it? Well, of course it is, but let's find out just how worth it is. So the initial cost now of the Sawmill went up from 750k silver to 1 million silver to buy. So it's a little bit more of an initial investment. But the real cost is that the cost for upgrading your boards doubled. So instead of 750 per upgrade on a board, it is 1,500 per upgrade on a board. Now currently in beta, and this will change, there's also an option for wood production. This is 1,000 silver per upgrade. And that wood has a lot of uses. You could use it just to craft more planks. It takes 5 wood per board. Most of us are probably using this to craft fishing nets though. But we'll look at it if you were not using it for fishing nets, how efficient it would be to add wood into your mix. So really quick, let's just look at the update where this kicked in. This is on the 2nd of August of 2021. So the bad news here, I talked about the Sawmill increase went from 1 million silver to 750k. Board cost now doubled. And really the explanation given for this is that the Sawmill was OP. When the Sawmill was first introduced, there was this concern that it might be overpowered compared to other methods of revenue. And I think even with this change, it probably still is. At the time, the way that we addressed it is that the cost of crafting wooden shields or sturdy shields was increased up to 500 silver from I think it was 250 or somewhere in there. I probably would have gone up a little bit higher than that. But that was kind of the first nerf, and now this one has been kicked in. So let's come over to our spreadsheet and talk about the impacts a little bit. So the biggest impact is your initial investment has doubled to get your planks up and going. And the way I calculated this is I went ahead and put together the spreadsheet for the cost of your boards for each upgrade and how many you have. If you saw mine, I'm sitting at 800, so it's a pretty big cost increase. I got to scroll way down to see that. My next increase would cost 1.2 million silver to go to 801 boards. Scroll back up. So what we're looking at is how many days will it take to recuperate your investment. I left the same numbers in here from the previous video where we're assuming if you're doing 100 hours a board, you can probably make use of all 24 hours of production. If you're doing 200 boards per hour, you're probably going to lose about 4 hours of production during the day where your inventory is going to fill up and overflow. And we're down to 18 hours for 400 planks and 16 hours for 800 planks. Now, realistically, that's going to be higher or lower depending on your play style and how much inventory space you have. But those are the assumptions that we're sticking with. We've taken those and we have added in our daily profit for each of those points with how many sturdy shields you can craft per number of boards that you're creating. So if you do 100 planks, it's still going to take you only now about 3 days to recuperate your cost. So that isn't really too bad. I think it was in the first day or two prior. 200 boards will take you 6 days. 400 boards will take you 12 days, and 800 boards still is only going to take you about 27 days, so about a month to recuperate your costs, which really isn't too bad when you're at the point in the game where you're okay to spend massive amounts of silver like we have here on this. What is that, 480 million? I should change these numbers so that they have the decimal places in them, so I'm not guessing. All right, there we go. Yeah, 481 million silver. For your cost, you're probably playing for more than 1 or 2 days. You're probably more in the, I'll be around for a couple months range. My chart is still up comparing that to the bank, although the bank now has an interest I put on 5 million silver in caps. And then I changed the Sawmill's formula here saying I didn't add that into where we're sticking it into the bank and saying how much would it grow. Because again, you're just going to hit a certain value and then it's only 5 million more daily you'd be getting if you were to stick it in the bank. And when you're sitting at 200 boards per day, you're already nearing that 5 million per mark that you're going to be bringing in from sturdy shields. 10 at 400 and 18 million at 800 boards. With the given amount of production that we've listed, you could potentially capture. All right, so there it is. Still very, very worth it to buy the Sawmill. Still probably the best source of income in the game until you can start making nets and fishing on Lake Minerva. Now, the other question was, what about wood? If I was going to use that to make planks, when would it be worth it? So we have the chart here. How much it costs to upgrade our boards and how much it costs to upgrade our wood. And the way I looked at this is, at what point does 5 upgrades of wood cost the same amount as the next upgrade of planks? And it starts off about a 2-to-1 ratio early on, and then I took a couple specific data points. So at 100 boards per hour, you're looking at about 33 wood per hour is an equivalent cost. So that's a ratio of about 3x. And it seems to hold up. I'm going to come out here to 42. I've got 134 boards on here. I didn't do 200. I didn't stick that one in there, but I come all the way down here to 800, and we're at 242 boards, which is a ratio of about 3.3. So there you have it. If you want to look at the minimum cost for your boards, you want to have about a 3-to-1 ratio of planks to wood. So about a third, you could say, of your upgrades could go into wood instead of planks. Now, realistically, you're probably going to be using that wood for nets. That's okay. Wood is fairly easy to find with exploring as well. But if you want to upgrade that, that's how those numbers work out. So roughly 3x the boards of the wood. All right, so there you have it. Now, there were other questions that came up of when do I want to start investing in things like the orchard or putting money in the bank instead. I would still really prioritize getting your sawmill up and running, just because these profits are not a huge investment to get going. To get your orchard really up and running, you're going to be investing a similar amount as you are into your sawmill, but it's not going to bring the same kind of income. And, bringing in 18 million per day, it's not going to take you that long throwing your extra money in the bank to hit that 125 or that 150 million cap to maximize what you're going to get on your return from the bank. All right, so there it is. Sawmill has been updated. The other thing I should note is that these values are ignoring item mastery, and that's going to have a potentially large impact as well, because your profit on here is going to go up 10%. We could probably just bump this in really quick in the formula. Once you've mastered, so that's once you've made 10,000 shields, which won't take all that incredibly long. That turns your profits today into these values. Notice how that instantly updated, and you're going to pay off in 24 days now. So a little bit faster. So 18 million up to 20 million profit per day. It's a pretty good bump once you hit that item mastery, which you will do relatively quickly when you're making these sturdy shields all the time. All right, there we have it. The sawmill has been updated. Hopefully this is helpful for you guys, help you make some decisions on where to invest wisely. As always, thanks for watching.